Sorry that this is a little late, so let's actually just dive into the video. Without further ado, let's get into my favorite returning series of 2018. Whether they're series that have their sequels 2018 or series from older seasons that are getting a sequel in that year. Basically think of it as the season 2 corner of this part. So the Ace Attorney anime isn't, by a lot of people's standards, considered the best adaptation of the series. Even I don't think it's the best adaptation of the Ace Attorney games, but it's still really good. Continuing on with the plot of the later games, and honestly some of the best trials in the series if you ask me personally, the series does keep going strong despite the adaptational issues. I honestly say if you're a fan of the Ace Attorney games, or just a little curious about them but don't want to take the time investment of playing the games, then you should at least consider watching this anime. Even if it is low grading sometimes with how they don't fully integrate the investigation segments. So, Dagashi Kashi is an odd series, to say the least. It's a series about Japanese snacks and candies, and explaining ways to eat and enjoy these various snacks. But despite the oddity of its origin, it really does work as a manga and as a TV show. And I know part of it is just because of how strongly its main heroine, Hotaru, loves Dagashi, and how much of her personality is built around that, and it generally leads to funny jokes about how she cares about nothing but this candy. This season continues with the group's snack-fueled adventures and its slice-of-life drama, but it kind of amps it up towards the latter half of the series, instead of just faffing about doing whatever and eating snacks like they did in the season 1. And I actually really liked this season a lot more than season 1 because of how kind of sort of serious the plot ends up getting, even if it's not that serious because the stakes are very low because slice of life series. But I honestly realized this show made me care about its characters, and that's what made me love it so much. Me realizing that this enjoyably light series is actually really fun to watch, and so I fell in love with it. And I actually cared about the plot stuff when that started happening. So yeah, never underestimate a show even if it has a really weird premise that sounds dumb on paper. It's finally time for the return of JoJo's, with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5 Vento Oreo, or Golden Wind. Man, I'm happy that JoJo's Fridays are back. The JoJo's anime have been a fun ride through this rather interesting series. I have never been able to get into the manga because of the original art style for some of the older series, and honestly, this anime is how I've been experiencing JoJo's, which has become one of my favorite new series. And now it's time for the gang stars. I said that right. Yeah, JoJo's Part 5 is interesting because it's stuff apart from other JoJo's, because this one is about Giorno, the son of Dio, who has a bit of Jonathan in him because of reasons. If you've seen Part 3, that makes sense. This makes him an interesting mix of cruel but kind at the same time, which makes an interesting main character who can be selfless and beat the shit out of people who pisses him off, as shown multiple times throughout the series. Not to mention the wild and diverse stands continue to get even wilder and more diverse, and weird-ass characters coming out of seemingly nowhere, and some really great epic moments and epic fights with various stand battles. Shout out to White Album. On top of that, we have some upcoming great moments, some upcoming great fight, and of course, the musical references between the stands, their stand users, and the actual music that inspired the stand. It's always fun to connect those various dots for JoJo's. On top of that, the overall creative use of powers and all that stuff that makes JoJo's pretty entertaining. Overall, it's more of JoJo's, and that's never a bad thing. So yeah, Part 5 is going on strong, and it started off pretty well too. So a new Lupin series came out, and no one's talked about it, like, at all, and that's really a shame. Monkey Punch's Lupin the Third series has always been a fun, enjoyable ride, and this season's no different. If you're curious about Lupin or the Phantom Thief thing, I honestly recommend this series, and it's just so episodic you can literally look at any season of it and still not be confused about any of it. It's pretty straightforward. The characters are all great. Lupin, Jigen, Goemon, Fujiko, they're all really great characters. They're all well written. They're all on point. And I really like seeing this Lupin stuff, especially considering the fact that Phantom Thieves have been big. We've had, Persona 5, which had the Phantom Thieves. We've had Power Ranger versus Lupin Ranger, which says Lupin in the fucking name. So it's like, come on, people, jump on this Lupin the Third, because Lupin the Third is actually really good. And you get to see some really fun character stealing shit, which is always a fun time. The Overlord series continues strong, and it's probably one of the best isekai series out there, with Ainz officially this time on the path to world dominations, and the denizens of Nazarick showing off just how overpowered they can possibly be. Seriously, dear God, this world is fucked. The series continues its high moments and sometimes generally heartbreaking scenes, and of course the nightmare fuel. Never forget the nightmare fuel. So yeah, Ainz and friends continue to conquer the world, and they're extremely dangerous, and no one can stop them because just how strong they are. Dear God, this is fun to watch. It's like watching a car accident, you just can't look away. And finally, we have, of course, My Hero Academia Season 3. As noted by previous videos on anime, I am shonen trash. So, did you not expect me to put probably one of the best shonen series to come out in some time on this list? I mean, it's probably one of the best well-written, best developed shonen anime and manga to come out, with excellent animation, a really well-done first movie, and some interesting plot stuff that happens in Season 3, and even more to come in Season 4 from what I've read in the manga, which is unfortunately coming out in October because they have to get this shit looking perfect. There's literally almost no downside to this franchise right now, except some of the fans themselves, which you can say about any fan base, and the Season 4 wait till October. Seriously, the later half of this year cannot come sooner than ever because Pokemon end this. Seriously, what the hell? So yeah, Hero Academia Season 3 is really good. Please watch. So that concludes my favorite and personal best returning series of 2018. A lot of Season 2s came out, and Season 3s, and a lot of the trends gonna continue over to this year. I'm honestly still waiting to see how the Season 3 of 2 Hour No Index panels out. It's actually pretty good so far. And another bunch of series continuations. Again, My Hero Academia Season 4 is coming out in October. I have to remind myself of that. So yeah, we'll actually be talking about series that actually finished last year. Well, some started and didn't finish yet, like you'll see. As we talk about the best slice of life series of 2018, by me personally. I'll see you all next time for that.